everyone, and welcome back to techystack channel. So browser has been opened. Okay, now it started. Let me remove this debug. Breakpoint. So it take the details and click on the minus and close that collapse the details. Now it move to the second box. So it will fetch the all the methods, but here we can see some duplicates also is available. So as of now, it will click on the duplicates and it will take any of that data. So you see that again, it will click on TT. So here we have some duplicates. So that's why it's behaving like this. So it will click entire all these data. So whatever the data is available here, it will just click on those data and update the same data into the Excel files. So this is a one of the method which I have developed the bot. Today we'll try to scrape the EM website. So this is the one website link. So once you launch this website link, we need to fetch some details like this is the contact client name, and we have some couple of information are below. So this is the address, city, state, zip. After that, we need to scrape the phone number, and we have to check this how many doctors are available. From this doctor status, we need to fetch full name, first name, and last name. Here, full name is the enter the thing this one, and this is the first name, and what is the last name. So we can use the split by comma. After that, we need to extract its primary status, license number, and the NPA number. So let me let me launch this website first. So I'm going and launching this things in browser called Chrome browser. So the website look like this. From this data we need to scrape. So once you click on this full details, you can see this plus icon. After this click on the plus icon, we can able to fetch its details. So let me go and check for the second one. So once I click the full details, here we have this some large bunch of data here. So each and everything we need to go and click this data. So once you take this data, so we need to append the same data into the our Excel file. So, and we have see one more thing here. This is a vision source. So, which is not in the regular text format. So, we need to fetch this data. From this also, we need to scrap the same thing. So, let me go back to the UiPath Studio. So, initially, I will try to scrape this data with the help of data scraping. So, just I taken this data scraping and let me move to that website. So, first one, I need to get this contact details. So, I taken that. After that, I giving this down one. So it all came, but these things are not available. So let me change the column name as. Let me check what they given here. Clinic. What is this? It's a clinic name. So let me change the same thing. So I created this, and we can see these things. So we got this couple of details here. So which are blank. It's related to vision source with the product of plus provider. So once your clinic name is done, next we need to scrape the address. So let me scrape this address. So when once I click this extract correlated data, so the help of that I'm scraping the address. So for this address, it's take wrong details. So for that, what we need to do now, we need to take one more data scraping. So once you get two data tables, we need to merge those two things. So now I'm changing this as address. So after this, I need to fetch this city, city pin code, and those things I need to scrape. So here I will make it as country details. So what I did, so here these things are done. And next we need to scrape this phone number. So I scrape this, let it change to Okay, all this data is available. So wherever we can see this vision source, further we scrape this 30.16, which is not exact data. So for that, we need to take one more data scraping and we need to merge the two data tables. So now I taken only the one data table. Let me finish this. And here I'm not moving to the next page. Here I have the next page, but I'm not moving to the next page. If you want, you can navigate this multiple pages. Now I'm not doing for all the pages. I'm doing only on the first page. So I'll just click on this no button. So once this is done, so it's extracted the data and it has the name as extract data table. So I will make it as extract data table one. And let me change this to new sequence. And I'm taking one more data scraping. So this is for extracting these details on the vision. So let me scrape from this vision itself. And another one I will take from the vision. So same names I will make it. Clinic name. So we can't see here how many clinics are there. Let me check. So one, two, three. Okay, let me re-extract it. So I'm taking again because last time it came the blank, so I'm trying something different. So I take in whole extraction here. Match also it came. Let me change to clinic name. Okay, we can see here the plus providers are there. So now this data I will just filter with the plus provider data. After that, I will match it. So after this, I need to extract the correlated data like this one. Address I need to extract. So let me change this to address. Okay, whatever the different are there, normal contact lens, those came its miles. So now here we need to just filter with the operator plus provider. So for this data we need to take. So after this address, we need to take country details. Let me take this country details. So country details also I scrapped. Country details done. And the next step is we need to fetch that phone numbers. Phone numbers. This is done. Okay, this got interchange. We need to change to like this. So once it's done, so I don't want to go with the next page. So I will click on that. Okay. And this one, I will make it name as data table 2. So once this is done, let me put this is outside of this data scraping. Let me keep it top and I will make it as data scraping 1 for our reference purpose, data scraping 2. So let me go inside this. I will remove this all data. So that is error because the data table not created. So it's there, but I moved to outside now, so it's changed its scope. Let me create this variable and change scope to new. So now two data tables are done. So now what I will do now, I will just filter here data table. So I'm taking filter data table and my data table is here extract data table 1 and I need to filter here is okay, it's having first column only now. So first column what I mentioned clinic name. Clinic name and I make it as not equals to blank. And I'm assigning the same data to final data table 1. I'm running this part and will check whether I'm getting the exact output or not after the filter data. So let me step into this one by one, and I'm checking exact data table. So let me copy this data and I'm updating into the notepad. So here we can see this. So these are the blanks data. So now I'm applying the filters here. So after this filter, I created the data table as panel data table 1, and I'm taking this again the same data and putting into the same another updating in the notepad, and we can see this here. So here we count that blanks data is not available, and similar way I will do for this second data table as well. So I'm applying the filter, and my data table is extract data table 2, and configure filter is here. I taken provider now. So let me go to this website plus provider. So which is equals to, I updated reverse. Let me change it here. Clinic name. It's clinic name only. So I created two data tables after the filters as well. Now I need to merge the data table. For that I'm taking merge the data table activity. And here my source is final data table 2 and destination is final data table 1. So I'm running this bot and we'll check output how it's look like. Let me keep one message bug downside for checking purpose. And now I'm running this bot. Okay, first I will check the extract data table 2. So in this data table 2, we have all these details plus provider so on. So now I will check final data table 2. You can see this here. Just we have this plus providers data, three data are there. And now I'm checking the final data table 1. So this is combination of both the tables. Let me copy this and enter the data and updating notepad for checking purpose. So we can see this contact lens three things. After this, we have the three plus providers. So all the data is available right now here. So now each and everything data. So we need to update into the Excel file, and as well as we need to go to this website and we need to click on this plus full details. Then we need to fetch this doctor details as well. So let me do that as well. Stopping this bot. So initially I will take one more activity for the open browser. Let me put it inside this. I will add this all activities. So the three things I will keep into one more sequence, and I will make it as name as extraction data and merging. So this is done. So next I'm taking one for each activity. So we need to look for each and everything for each row in data table. And here I will update final data table 1. Now once this came, so we need to update the data. So before updating data, I need to grab this data as well. So first I need to click on the plus details now. So let me go and take this click activity. and indicating the browser and just click on this view full details. Now I'm going to edit selector. So here we can see the view full details of this clinic name. So here one done is there. So what I will do now, I will create one more variable and make it name as clinic name. In this clinic name, I will take data table of 0.2 string. So the clinic name is available here. The same variable I will pass it into the selector. So let me change from here to here, and I will update this clinic name the variable. Now it will click on this plus details, and later we need to click on this again. So if you observe here, so for example, let me check here. Here is also one. Let me go on the top. So when I see click on the full details, we got bunch of these data. So we need to do one more scraping. Let me go to data scraping and I will click on this next. Initially it will like this. One moment. Let me check this as well, how it's look like. Okay, I need to take like this and tap. Okay, and I will click on this next. So it's got two columns, doctor and age. Let me try for the below as well, how it's look like. Okay, it's not expecting as my expectations. Let me try in another way. Okay, this is done. After this, okay, I got this data which same thing related. Let me try for downside as well. And data is done. And second data, okay. Okay, it's all came. So let me click on this finish. And I don't want to extract the multiple pages. Let me indicate on this selector. Okay, vision provider selector only available. And here body class. Let me indicate. Okay. I need to go to Open UI Explorer because every time it's come won't come this data now. So sometimes we need to fetch the data from here and sometimes we need to fetch data from another name. So let me try to check is there anything other thing. Fetch Dr. Morgan. It's having some different name. Let me I will try to indicate this here. Okay, I taken something in different way and I need to test this activity. I'm putting on the top side. This error. Let me check what is this error. All are correct only. What is this error? URL not supplied. Okay, here URL not supplied. I did the data scraping for this and I just changed this instead of this selector and I taken the parent class as doctor list and IDX is equal to 1. So every time the IDX is incrementing, so now it's highlighting this one. So let me modify this to IDX2. Now when I validate and highlight, it will go on highlighting for this too. Let me re-highlight. We can see this one, it's highlighting. So like this, it keep on loop. And I will just take this data scraping activity and put inside of this here. So once we click on this full details, let me close these details. Once I click on this full details, so it needs to fetch this one and click on this here. Then later we need to scrap this data. So now this is done. Let me put outside. Okay, and I quickly for each loop here, for each row in data table, and I'm updating here extract data table, and I need to click on this. I mean, I need to fetch this data. Get text. So I will fetch this data directly, and later I will convert it to first name, last name, and middle name. And updating name as full name. Next, again, I'm taking get text one more time. I will fetch this one, this number. Later, I will convert it to that number. What is number? License number. After that, we need to fetch one more detail, which we call NPI number. Now all details were gathered. So let me test only this activity. I'm moving to step into extracting the data from the website, and we can see extract a data table as second reading JROD, and later we need to extract this text, this name, license number. Let me check license number. We got this license number, and next we need to fetch the NPI number. So NPI number also got it. Now let me uncomment this one. So in this, what happened? It's having the full name. So this will work once I put the inside of that inside of that loop. So let me take this and moving here. Okay, I'm removing this and updating the new one. This is done. Now I will run one case end to end, and if it is data is working fine, then I will move this data to Excel file. I will directly come and park this here. Let me close this browser as well because it will launch that browser. So it launched the web browser and it try to fetch the data. So and I will just check final data table. So it got this accurate data, and later it taking the client name. So I mean clinic name. Let me check the clinic name. It's a contacts express, and after that it will click on the details. And next It extracting this data again. Okay, now I'm checking the extracted data table. Okay, it got this data, Xeon plus, and I need to click on this plus icon. Okay, I forgot that add to that plus icon. Let me add that as well. And meanwhile, let me check this data whether I'm getting or not. It's throw the error. Okay, could not find span. Let me stop this part and we'll check what having the issue with the selector. Okay, here I mentioned full name. Let me check where I declared that full name variable. Your name as name, and I will change your name. Okay, it's done. I'm running the bot again, and we'll see now whether you're able to fetch the data or not. Same here. Let me put debug point here, and we'll check in the name data is available or not. Okay, it's having a perfect. I think again we have some issue with this. I'm stopping this bot and re-indicating the text again. Let me check what is happening here. I'm going with this A name. Okay, it's having one space. Okay, let me press Control plus K and I will take name. Okay, this is fine. So before that, we need to click on this plus symbol now. So let me take one more activity. Click and let me click it. I will put after this downside. And inside also, I will just change the same thing. Running the bot again. Once you get this data, so then later we can update this data into the Excel file. Only here the problem is fetching the data is very difficult. Okay, it's click on that close details and here name, and we got this name. Let me take full name. So we got a full name. Okay, click on the my requirement cliff data, and next it fetch the what is his name, primary license number. Okay, fetch the license number, and finally NPI. Okay, now all the details are fetched. Now let me stop this bot, and here we need to add a couple of the things. So the first one here we have IDX. So this one we need to change to one variable. I'm taking one variable here. I'm taking variable name as temp number and assigning as one. And let me change this variable type to integer. Where it is here temp number. Let me increment this. So I will let increment that. Temp number plus one. Okay, top should also not remove. Okay, I think all has been completed. Let me open that Excel file. Okay, we need to update the data here, and I forget one point. So we have two sheets. So one is for the clinic sheets, and another sheet for the provider sheets. So in the clinic sheets, we need to add the clinic name, address, that's it. And in the provider sheets, we need to add the data which we have these details. So once you click on this plus symbol, now these details we need to add in the provider sheet. So for that purpose, I declared here a couple of variables. So let me go to here. So row counter for the first sheet and row counter two for the second sheet and temp number. So this is for IDX. So already I told you now. So when you're fetching it here, we every time the IDX is changed from 1, 2, 3, and so on. For that purpose, I did. So now here it's completed and I updating the data here. The first one is I need to update the clinics. So in the clinics, I have the clinic name. After that address. So let me run the bot till here, and later I need to take this data. So just we collected this data, but we not split how to do this data. So here we have the clinic name. So let me check the clinic name. So this is fine. After that, once after that, we need to take this address. So let me check current row of one dot two string. Okay, it's having address 219 something. Okay, let me take this and put it in notepad. For address, that we need to take next one. Next one is two things we have here. So city, state, and zip. So here, what is the city? We need to check. So city is the name. Okay, AR. Okay, let me take split of comma of 0. So we got that city name, city, and after that state. Let me take here state. This is okay. It's having something different. Let me take this comma of 0. What is some blush? Okay. Okay, we need to do a double split here. Then we'll get the data. Instead of that, let me check how the data is here. We find the file. It's having some defect. So we need to assign one variable, and again we need to take this data. So let me take, and finally we'll take all, and in this three I think we have the phone number. Okay. This is for mobile number or phone number. Now, okay, this is for city is done. Next, assign one variable here. Assign one variable and check. Let me stop this bot and update this data. So clinic name is done. Next should be the address. So address is available on the B column, and the address date is this one. Okay, after this address, what we have the city name. City in data is available on the column C. Column C. Okay, this is done. After this, I will take one variable to split the data again. I will make it as temp split. So once I split this, I will got the data like this. City name I got. Split has been done here and updated the respective of the values in the column A client name, in column the address, I mean B2, and C2, all the details are updated here. This is fine in the sheet 1. So now we need to go and update in the sheet 3. Sorry, sheet 2, the next sheet 2. So here what we need to update means, let me go and take the sheet name providers. Let me update this providers. In this providers, in the A and here row counter 2. We need to update the clinic name. So let me change this and assign the clinic name. The last name, first name, and full name. After that, NPI, license number, total providers. And I have updated some couple of the things. So let me explain, go through the code one more time. So we have the one website, so which we need to extract the data from the website. And here I created two data tables, extra data tables after merging the data table to one final data table. After that, I declare two variables because we have the two different sheets. So I take the row counter 1 and row counter 2. Then I'm looping the final data table 1. I'm getting the clinic name. Based on that clinic name, I will fetch that other details. And once I fetch the details, I am updating the same thing to into the workbook. After I use a split for the purpose of getting city name, state name, and zip. Once this is done, so next I need to fetch the data like this. So click on this full details and we need to fetch this data. So for that purpose, this is the activity which I used. So before I using here one extract data table dot clone, because I'm clearing the data table is equal to blank, and again I will extract the data. So here I'm extracting data, this data. Okay. So once I extracted this data, I will put it in the loop and everything I fetch the data and updating the enter the data into the Excel file. Once this is done, I will just click on the close. Right now it has the full details now. So once this is done, I will click on the close details. And similar way, if I click on this plus button, again I will click on the minus button. Okay, now all the details has been updated here. Let me run this bot. We'll see how it will works. So browser has been opened. Okay, now it started. Let me remove this debug, breakpoint. So you take the details and click on the minus and close that collapse the details. Now it moved to the second box. So it will fetch the all the methods, but here you can see some duplicates also is available. So as of now, it will click on the duplicates and it will take any of that data. So you see that again, it will click on TT. So here we have some duplicates. So that's why it's behaving like this. So it will click entire all these data. So whatever the data is available here, it will just click on those data and update the same data into the Excel files. So this is a one of the method which I have developed the bot. Data has been fetched into the Excel file. So I have added only a couple of the things after I stop this bot. And for the provider sheets also, it fetches this data. And here we can see the provider type is blank because there is no data, which data need to fetch in the Excel file, sorry, in the PDF file. And I want to add one more point here. So let me open the sequence. So here I told you initially I take the IDX, but the same IDX is not working fine. So then I change the selector and I selected the anchored base element with the help of phone number. So that only I'm able to fetch this data from the website. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, make sure hit that like button, share with your friends, subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to turn off notifications so you never miss an upload.